Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Droid Life Show today, episode 185. It's Friday, October 5th. I'm your host, Kellen. With me, Tim. Tim, say hi.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Tim here.
So on today's show, next week is the big week of all big weeks. Google's event, finally here. Pixel 3, Pixel 3 XL, whatever else they're going to announce October 9th. So next Tuesday. Yeah, that's Tuesday. We actually have another event right after that on the 10th. Razer's announcing some stuff. There's more stuff, but the big one is here, the Google event, Pixel 3, Pixel 3 XL, Home Hub, whatever. So we're going to take the show and just kind of recap some of that. Any last minute things that have popped up and whatnot. And we actually did just get like a new fresh review of it out of Hong Kong, so we can possibly talk about that. But this week in particular was LG's week. So they announced V40 and we've already reviewed it. Tim actually has written an entire lengthy review on the V40 and has spent plenty of time with it. So we'll talk about that, get his thoughts. They also announced a watch, which I think we're gonna have some opinions on the watch. It has mechanical hands, so it's at least an interesting product. There's some other Google stuff, like we got the October security patch. There's lots of Wear OS news, new OnePlus 6T leak. So some big topics, but obviously the Pixel stuff is important, and the V40 stuff. We also do have trivia once again this week. Google Play credit to winners. If you're new, end of the show, we do a 5-question trivia and award 5 different people prizes. This week, 5 people are getting $10 in Google Play credit. So stick around for that. Once we get through the topics, we'll do that. And we'll let you know. All right. Let's dive in here. I think we should start with V40 actually. So, or just LG in general. LG, this was their week. They got in before everyone else. So October is a crazy month. LG announced the V40 Thin Q. I'm just going to call it the V40. I can't do the Thin Q thing. So the V40, they also announced a new watch called the Watch W7, which we were sort of under the impression has been in the works for a really long time. Like we saw this watch, we're pretty sure it's this one, first get rumored like in May, and then it hit the FCC in May and in June, and then just disappeared, and then they finally showed it off. So they're in with their products, and then obviously Google goes, and then Razer goes, and then Nokia did it just yesterday also, but then OnePlus goes. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in a row. So anyways, V40. Do you want to talk? Well, we should probably start. Do you want to talk about pricing, maybe some specs, kind of give people a little rundown of what the V40 is?
I would love to give people the rundown. So LG V40, it's the latest in LG's V series lineup. For specs, everything you'd expect in a 2018 flagship, Snapdragon 845, large, 6.4-inch Quad HD Plus OLED display.
Huge display.
Massive. Same size as the Galaxy Note 9, slightly larger than what we're expecting with the Pixel 3 XL at 6.3-inch. 64 gigs of storage. There's only one. There's no 128, no 516 or whatever it is. 6 gigs of RAM. 3. Count them, 3. 1, 2, 3 cameras on the back side, 2 on the front. On the back, you've got a standard shooter, wide angle, and a telephoto. So a whole lot going on the back.
There's so many cameras.
Yeah, 2 front-facing cameras, an 8-megapixel and a 5-megapixel standard and wide. So you can do your Ellen DeGeneres selfies with Bradley Cooper and all your other, celebrity friends.
The people we always hang out with. Yeah.
Exactly. Brad's a great guy. I have to go see his new flick here this weekend. Girlfriend's dragging me to go see Lady Gaga.
It's supposed to be good.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be better than Venom, that's for sure.
How dare you? Battery only 3,300 milliamp hours, so compared to the Galaxy Note 9 at 4,000, it's quite a substantial difference. However, in my testing, I didn't find too much difference. It's got fast wireless charging, Bluetooth, NFC, USB-C, and it comes in black or blue. So that's
or that really cool red in other countries not named the US, which sucks because that's the best looking color.
Yeah, we get screwed.
Yeah.
So those are the specs. It comes running Android 8.1 Oreo, not Pie. LG was reluctant to give us any info as to when we can expect a Pie update. I'm just
so much for that update center, huh?
I know, all those engineers. What are they getting paid? I
seriously want to know what the LG Update Development Center, whatever the hell it's called. I want to know what it's actually done to deserve being a thing. Because
it's a vacant building in Silicon Valley, I'm sure. Kind of like Let Echoes HQ.
There was a couple years ago, I think it was the V10, maybe it's the V20. I don't know. Where there was a new version of Android out, and LG released a phone with the new version of Android. I thought it was maybe the V20, which wasn't that. That was 2 years ago. I thought it was the V20, maybe not.
It must have been where they were like, this is the first phone.
Yeah. It was either the V10 or 20, one of those. And we were like, oh, good job, LG. And now that's never happened. So we thought it was maybe going to be a pattern. It wasn't.
It could have been. But so I opened up my review, asking if it was a good idea for LG to be the first phone first maker to launch a phone in the busy month of October. As Kellen stated, we do have a very busy month with the Pixels, a whole lot of other stuff going. And come to find out, it's not a good idea. LG tends to do this a lot.
Their timing's so bad.
Yeah, they do it every year with the G series, right ahead of the Galaxy series from Samsung. And of course, everyone forgets about the G because the Galaxy is the Galaxy, and it's typically just a better experience for those buyers. So, just running down, I guess, there's a lot of positives about the phone. I'm still using it, actually. It's a very nice phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's a very nice phone.
It actually looks pretty nice. It has a really small chin on the bottom. Like, I know people are already complained about the Pixel 3 XL having this big chin down there. That phone doesn't have, we were talking bezel-less. That's about as close, I think, as we've seen, isn't it? I mean, I know it has a notch up top at the bottom. It has one of the trimmer bottoms we've seen.
It does. There's not enough room there for LG to put a logo, or for Verizon to slap a logo on there or anything like that. Like, it's not offensive.
And it has a headphone jack still.
And it has a headphone jack.
Is that on the top or bottom?
It's on the bottom.
Oh, nice. Good job, LG.
Yeah. And it's got the boombox sound, so really, there's a lot of positives, right? The cameras are really good from what I found. Of course, you've got all your manual shooting modes for the camera and the video taking. It's got that new Cine shot. And then, of course, I posted up my review, and then Motorola hit me up a couple of days afterwards, and they're like, hey, we've had Cine shot for like 2 years, and it's on the Z3 Play. Do you want a review unit? I was like, God, no.
Where do reviews that? Get out of here.
I know. What are you doing? We probably didn't talk about Cine shot.
No, I did not talk about Cine shot on the Z3 Play. Yeah. Oh, that's really funny, though. I had no idea that the C3 Play had Cine shot, and I totally reviewed that phone. I don't dive into like the extra camera like modes. I just want to know if it shoots in normal very well, and the Z3 Play was pretty average. So, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you whatsoever. I guess if you're looking for negatives, there are no real general negatives. I listed nothing under a not so good section. However, the software, of course. I'm not an overly huge fan of LG software on top of Android. It's definitely gotten better. It's like light years ahead of what was on the LG G5. And so that I appreciate. There's not a ton of settings here that are kind of spammed inside of the settings menu or anything. It's all just kind of subtle things. Their home launcher is utterly trash. But the nice thing about Android is you can just download Nova or download whatever launch wrap you want. So there's plenty of ways to tweak it. If you aren't a fan of the skin, you can change that too. They do allow themes on their software now. So
LG's phones, you have to put a different launcher on. Their launcher is awful. And out of the box these days, they do the one without the app drawer where it just spams everything on all of your home screens, right? Isn't that like the default? It's off, and there's no way to organize it. It just kind of all floats on there, and it sucks. So yeah, they're like the phone company where you have to put a third-party launcher on.
People are asking me, Bertzer, especially in the chat. Shout out Bertzer. Asking if I'm going Note 9 over V40 or vice versa. I'm actually going to stick with the V40. So the V40 in hand is just a lot more comfortable. It's a lot lighter. Galaxy Note 9 is massive. Taking that thing in and out of your pocket all the time. It's super tall. It's heavy. It's thick. Because it's got a much larger battery and no notch, so it needs to have its bezels, its chin, its forehead, etc. This thing is just a bit more compact in hand.
Because really the display size is the same, but is it really smaller? It just feels different. It just feels better. Because the Note 9 I thought was too heavy and it didn't feel great in hand. But
the Note 9, so I've got the bottoms lined up, but I'm just going to show you. It is a little bit taller.
Okay. It's that notch. Thank you, notch.
Go thickness. I can't. It's impossible.
Because it's backward.
Yeah. Either way, it's a little bit bigger. So the V40 is just a little bit more comfortable, and really, if I'm being totally honest, like the software experience, because neither of them are stock Android or what a Pixel ships with or Essential or anything, they're just kind of similar experiences. You know, it's a heavy skin. So really, it doesn't even matter which phone you use. They're almost the same in terms of just overall experience. The cameras are both great, etc. The displays are good. So everything's the same now. Like, unless you're getting the like a $350 mid-range phone, like as long as you're getting a flagship phone, you're probably about to have the same experience across the board. So until the Pixel arrives, I'm sticking with the V40.
Yeah, that's what's so funny. You're like, oh, I'm sticking with the, I'm going to stick with it. And it's like, for how many days though?
For like 3 more days. Yeah. So I'm not even worried. But yeah, we have a lot coming up, man. We got the Pixel, and of course, you'll probably be checking out the standard Pixel. I'll be having to do maybe the big notch boy 3XL, and then the Razer phone 2, even though it's exactly like the Razer phone 1. And it's just a really busy month. I'm really looking forward to it. And we've got new Nokia phones coming. Oh, man.
Before you go, shout out in the chat. J Mill just dropped the $1.99 donation. Said, glad to see y'all back live. Glad to have you back with us.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh
my God. Lars just dropped 20. What is DKK?
I don't know. Danish kroners?
I'm looking it up right now.
I'm guessing Danish kroners.
It is, totally.
Hey, I got a friend over in Copenhagen.
So Lars just dropped 20. Is it Danish kroner? I don't even know how to say that. So keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Lars. That's amazing. J-Mail and Lars, both with the donations. Appreciate that. Thank you guys very much.
You're gentlemen and scholars.
Thank you very much.
But
all right, so V40, yeah.
I'm sticking with it for at least 3 more days until we get. And Guy Davis is asking if I'm being tortured with the V40. No, not at all.
You actually seem like you kind of like it. You haven't complained to me much at all.
It's a really good phone. Of course, I ended my review. I did not talk about pricing. So here's the major concern here. This thing's it's $1,000 effing dollars basically. If you look at tax, we in Oregon don't have sales tax. Thank God. But it starts at $900 if you get it through U.S. Cellular. Who the hell's getting this thing through the U.S. Cellular? Nobody. So AT&T $950, all the way up to Verizon $980. So
yikes.
And that's over a couple of year contract or whatever through their device payment plan. And so you're looking at a hefty monthly payment if that's the way you go about things. And I don't know if I would buy this over the Galaxy Note 9, considering the closeness in price and what the Galaxy Note offers in comparison to the V40.
Well,
so
the Note. Okay, so the Note. What's the Note 9's base price? Is it $1,000 bucks?
$99.
Okay,
yeah.
So it has double the storage though. So if you get the Verizon V40, you're paying basically Note 9 price, and you get half the storage. Sure, you get an extra camera. I don't want to take that away from LG, but you get half the storage and a smaller battery. And not that I've tested the V40, and the camera, like the pictures you took were really, really good. I thought, especially a couple of the night pictures I thought were incredible, but Samsung usually has top tier cameras. So Note 9, you possibly get a better camera, you get double the storage, a bigger battery, an S Pen, and you pay basically the same price. That's a tough sell for the V40.
Don't forget you're getting like 10,000 V-Bucks for Fortnite.
That's true.
You're getting like all this other stuff. What LG is giving you is a DJI gimbal and I think an SD card. So I mean that's not a lot of
DJI gimbals. I don't think are that cheap though. Is it? It's like the two.
$100 something. Yeah, it's not bad.
Remember. I think they're good. But yeah, $140.
I'm not knocking the gimbal. We love gimbals. I'm just saying.
But the price is kind of crazy.
Yeah, at that price, I don't know. I would probably lean Samsung Super AMOLED and their cameras versus LG. Right. We don't even know who made their display. I'm assuming it's an LG OLED, but
it must be.
You can see that they're not very confident in their displays because they were POLED and now they're back to the OLED and they're like, you know what?
It seemed like they were really excited about pushing their own OLEDs, and this year they're just like, it's an OLED, and they didn't really talk much more about it. Yeah. PC747 in the chat just dropped $10 donations. I appreciate the content you guys constantly bring. Thank you so much. That's crazy. $10. PC747. Where's your soundboard? You had it almost going last show. Thank you so much, PC747. That's a very, very generous donation.
You guys are just awesome.
You guys are awesome.
I got the soundboard. I didn't know if I was being too obnoxious last week with it, but I mean, I've got
I thought it was totally
horns
fine.
for days.
That's so funny.
It's obnoxious.
So
but yeah,
I've never used the phone. To be honest, I don't know that I ever will use the V40 because you've had this review unit, you've reviewed it, and like as you said, we have a bajillion devices to go through over the coming month. I'm just a Pixel fan in general. I prefer that experience. So I don't know that I'll ever touch a V40. And I don't know that like reading your review and seeing the specs and the price, anything stood out to me as saying, yeah, I want to give that some run because the hardware, I know their hardware because I used a G7. The cameras, I know their cameras and I know they added a telephoto, but like I tested the Note 9 and I think I used the telephoto twice and that was just for testing. Like I don't ever really use telephoto. So like the fifth camera doesn't really do much for me. And then I know LG software and you said basically there's no change here from like the G7. So it doesn't turn me off. It just doesn't get me excited. So the V40 sounds great. But I'm not a DAC guy. I'm not a big audio freak. I wish I was, but that stuff just makes no sense to me. So I don't know. It's a tough, like if I had the Note and that sitting next to each other, like we just talked about, I probably would lean Note. But then I also know the Pixel 3 is coming. So it's going to be a tough. And LG getting in early? Did they get in too early? Next week, are we going to forget that the V40 exists?
Uh-huh.
I feel bad for them in a way. This seems like a really good phone. Like you actually, so for you guys who don't know what I'm talking about here, like Tim and I talk constantly about the phones we're testing and using it. Like you've been using it for a week and I don't know that you hit me up to complain about anything. Like often, like if I'm reviewing something, I'm complaining to Tim about the stuff that's bugging me as I'm getting ready. Like you didn't really say anything negative about this phone. You actually like it, I think, for the most part. So
there's nothing really negative to say. Which is a good thing for LG. You know, their hardware has gotten really good. Their software it's getting better. The camera experience is good, and the performance was fine. So I don't know what else you really need from a smartphone. So it's a really good phone. I just don't know. I mean, they just have the worst timing, and we say that every time they launch a new phone because they try and get it in there. And I mean, imagine being the person who's pre-ordering this phone, and then say Google announces, you know, they're legit phones, or, you know, say you really like the Razer Phone 2 or something. There's just so much coming. So I stressed, just wait. I mean, October is a busy month, so just calm down. You don't have to pre-order anything. You might be missing out on a damn gimbal. Oh, well. I would just hang tight. Hang tight.
Yeah. That is kind of I feel like the only takeaway. V40 sounds like a nice phone. Everything's there. But you should probably wait, unless you want a Note 9, because Samsung just kicked off a promo today where they'll double up the whatever trade-in price. Like you can get $600 off a Note 9 right now, which is kind of crazy.
That's so ridiculous. It's not even fair. Who can compare? I mean that's.
There's only a couple of phones you can trade in to get the 600, but there's a whole bunch of phones you can trade in to get like 500, 550 off a Note. You can basically get a half price Note if you have a semi-decent phone to trade in. Anyway, but that promo goes through November 3rd, so you could still wait to see all these other phones announced and then do the Note 9 trade-in deal.
Someone was asking if I could show the bottom chin with a white background or something, but I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's not that thick.
No, it's not.
It's not that bad.
It's one of the more minimal bottoms we've seen.
Exactly. It's not. Oh God, what was that phone I wrote up today? The G7. Well, it's not that bad. Yeah. Another chat, man. I'll let you take that away.
It's J Mill again. J Mill with the second donation, $4.99 donation. This time says, for some reason, I might still get the Pixel 3 XL despite the notch looking like the front of a Jeep Liberty. It actually does look like the front of a Jeep Liberty. I didn't think about that.
I did not even. Yep, I didn't think about that either. But now that he mentions it, I can't get it out of my head.
Yep, never gonna see that. Thanks, J-Mill. Thanks for the memory that will never go away, and also thanks for the second donation.
You guys,
thanks so much.
Hold it. I got time.
Are you looking at the support?
Thank you.
Good stuff. All right, so V40.
V40, it's a wrap.
Yeah, anything else you want to say? It's full review is up, by the way, so go read full review. We don't often time reviews with the announcement date, but I mean, you've been testing this thing for a full week. We also have a whole bunch of stuff going, so this review is actually done earlier than most of our reviews.
Yeah, thank you.
Not that you spent any less time on it. You still spent tons of time work. So, but anyway, go read it. Full reviews are done.
Yeah, and if you hate reading, we do have a video up, the first look, first 10 things to do, etc. I mean, that'll give you a pretty good understanding of what the phone looks like and how it performs and all that. Actually, to make that video, I rewatched your V30 hands-on and kind of initial impression. Did you notice that phone stutters and has this laggy performance issue throughout the entirety of that video? Does it really?
I don't remember. Didn't notice.
You'll press buttons or you'll swipe something and it's it's just like, what the hell, LG?
That's not good. I'll have to go back and watch that. That's not good.
Anyway.
All right, let's talk about their other product they announced, the LG Watch W7. So you had a briefing with LG and they didn't actually have the watch on hand. They announced it on... Was it Wednesday? Was that the event day? Tuesday?
Yes. No.
Anyway, whatever the day was, they announced the V40. They announced the Watch W7. And then they had some on display at the event. We weren't there because we have a whole bunch of travel coming up and you already had the phone. So we haven't actually used this new watch. And I'll come back to that in a second. But so what it is the Watch W7. It's a Wear OS device. It's a hybrid Wear OS device with actual mechanical hands. So it's like there's mechanical hands sandwiched in between an LCD and glass. if you can picture that. The press images of it look really slick. It actually looks pretty nice. And it has possibly up to 100-day battery life. If you just turn off all the smarts and just go straight watch mode, it will last up to 100 days. It costs $450, so it's on the pricier end. And it kind of gets worse from there. So Snapdragon Wear 2100 chipset. That is the old, almost 3-year-old chipset from Qualcomm now, not the new 3100 with the co-processor and all that stuff. So it's got the old chip. 1.2-inch LCD. And as I mentioned, that LCD is kind of behind the mechanical hands, and then you get the glass up top. Storage 4 gig, which is typical. 768 megabytes of RAM, typical. 240 milliamp hour battery, which certainly sounds on the lower end. Although LG did say it'll get about 2 days of battery life in smartwatch mode. And then, of course, the 100-day. Water dust resistant. Comes in one color called Cloud Silver. No NFC, no heart rate, no GPS. So it's like the bare bones of all watches, but it costs $450. That's more than an Apple Watch. Which has super advanced heart rate, blood pressure monitor, whatever, EKG stuff.
EKG in it. Yeah.
So, when I first saw the pictures, I was like, this looks really slick. I kind of like it. And then people were at the event and started using the demo units, and it was Sasha Segan from PC Mag, this picture, one of the first pictures I saw. And he took this picture of it on his wrist, and it was like a Hangouts message, and sprayed across the Hangouts message are these mechanical hands because they don't go anywhere. And again, they're above the LCD. And so they blocked half of this message. And that experience doesn't really work. So you've got this smartwatch where you get notifications and information comes in and you look down, and there's hands. I mean, they're always going to be blocking unless it's 12 o'clock on the dot, right? Or 6:30 or 3:15, right? Like unless you get the hands lined up off to one side or whatever. Otherwise, it's going to be blocking information every time you get it. And they created this little one of the push buttons up top. It kind of like adjusts the screen, like it slides the screen up to try to get the information away from those hands. But that's not a good experience. The whole point is you're supposed to just glance at your watch, not reach down to press a button to. So in watch with the watch face on, it looks nice. And then in practical, like it doesn't really work. And then I also saw a picture where it was just in watch only mode, where only the hands were showing. And then you basically just have a black screen behind it with hands. And that just looks ugly. Like as a watch guy, like no one wants just a straight black face with nothing and a couple of watch hands. So I think this is a bad product. Not gonna lie. What are you thinking about this? Because you got briefed on it. Like, were they excited about this thing? I mean, it's been in the works for months, and they used the old chip.
Yeah, I'll walk you through the whole spiel. So I'm sitting. It was a nice leather chair in this sort of studio space in San Francisco, and there's me and a few other people that we know from the Android blogging community, and they have a TV, an LG TV, of course, showing us some slides, and a slide of the watch comes up, and they're like, "We've got this coming, Watch W7." I was like, "Oh shit, that thing's kind of hot!" Like, because the renders look pretty good, and I was like, "This is the hybrid. This is mechanical hands."
You actually sent me a message and said, "They did it," and I was like, "Yes, they did."
And so I'm super stoked about it, and then they started talking about it, and. Yeah, they did not run through the specs, so they left it to us to kind of ask them about it, because I guess maybe they just weren't very proud of what they were offering. They didn't talk about pricing, and we didn't get that until days later. Yeah. And anyway, someone asked, "Hey, what processor is that?" And they said it's the Snapdragon 2100. And we said, "Wait, what? Like 2100? That maybe they just don't know. Maybe they're mistaken. They're just PR people. They don't know. They don't know the tech stuff."
Yeah.
Real quickly, we do have a chat. $2 from Nerbo.
Looks like Nerbo.
Nerbo.
$2 Canadian.
Canadian. Yes. And I think Canadian dollar is doing pretty good. So thank you.
Oh yeah, probably doing better than our dollar. Nerbo with the $2 Canadian donation said, "Any doubt left as to how out of touch LG is? Rest in peace." Yeah, it feels a little bit like these are those products that LG does. By the way, thank you very much for the donation. These are those types of products where you kind of go, "What are you doing, LG?"
So I'm there. I'm sitting. I'm still trying to be excited. I'm like, all right, 2100, no big deal. It's not even that big of a difference from the 3100. There's just no co-processor, etc. So I'm trying to remain optimistic. And then they mentioned someone asked about the battery life, and they said, initially they said 210.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, 210? Like, how long is this thing going to last? 5 hours, etc. Thankfully, we got the press release. It said 240 milliamp hours. So I was like, okay, that's not great, but it's better than 210. 210. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm happy with 240 now, because it's better than almost 200. So that's good. Now I realize why the watch wasn't there, and that's because we all would have clowned him. We would have seen this UI or this experience with the mechanical hands being above the display, and it simply does not work. Yeah. I mean, I think I just imagine if someone else released this product first and it wasn't LG, right? I guess LG can kind of get away with doing silly things like this. Oh, LG, you're so silly. Yeah. If Apple did this, people would be, I don't know, going crazy, freaking out, because it's such a weird, kind of inconceivable thing, right? Yeah. In your mind, it sounds good, but then once you actually see it in person, you're like, oh, this just doesn't work. So if someone okayed this and said, all right, we're going to have to charge $450 because we've got these mechanical hands, so there actually has to be like real timepiece materials inside of it, and we can't just give the thing away, and there's a freaking LCD display, and it's not good enough. So it's really quite unfortunate. I'm not looking forward to it. I do want to still use one, because if there's anyone who can get over the idea that it's ugly or doesn't work or anything like that, I think it could be me.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'm going to try it. If they send one, I will try it. I'll check it out. You can change the bands. It comes with like a rubber bands, 22 millimeter. So I can just change that out, slap on a NATO, and maybe I can make it look good. But we'll see.
It actually looks nice when it just has the watch face and you see the hands. It's not a bad design of a watch.
No.
It's just, when you actually start trying to use it as a smartwatch or turn off the screen to use it as just a watch. I mean, for $450, you can get truly like mechanical watches. You don't necessarily have to get a smartwatch that's acting like a dumb watch. It's a weird product. And then the fact that no GPS, no NFC, no heart rate. So they took all of those extra smart things, which are part of the reason you own a smartwatch. Is people use them for fitness, people use it to make payments, people use it for GPS to do whatever, right? And so all of that stuff is gone, and yet the price is up there. And it's obviously they probably put a ton of R&D into this, and they worked with Soprod which is a Swiss mechanical movement maker. Like they did some stuff here, so I'm sure that's probably partly why the price is there, but
it's a hybrid, but it's missing two fundamental sort of ideas of what a mechanical watch is and what a smartwatch is, right? It doesn't really have the smarts of the smartwatch, and doesn't really have like the elegance or the class of like a fancy timepiece that you would wear. Right. It's got a black screen with just the hands. That's not classy. If you turn
the screen off, it doesn't look. With the screen off in watch mode, it actually does not look good at all. You need the screen on with a watch face, and then it actually looks okay. So
we've got problems. I guess
we do.
I thought I was really looking forward to hybrid watches. I guess I'm not now, unless someone else has a better idea for something. I don't know. But
they make sense, or I shouldn't say they make sense. They sound good, which you kind of said. They sound good in theory. And then you seriously got one notification and you went, I can't read this notification. They could possibly tweak it so that as a notification maybe a notification comes in, maybe the hands do collapse. Like when you look at it and you touch the screen, like maybe the hands like come together at noon or right. So they kind of get out of the way. Like maybe there's some ways they could tweak that to work to make it so it's not so obnoxious. I mean, if it's, 10 after 10, so you're at 10 and 2, like that's just taking up like half your screen. So anyway, they can maybe tweak some stuff, but
sure,
that's expensive for a watch that doesn't really have much going outside of mechanical hands, which don't really work. So pre-order is October 7th, right?
October 7th, I do believe so. In-store availability mid-October.
And the V40 is about the same, right? Kind of comes in a couple of weeks.
Is about the same. So pre-orders are kind of starting all over the place, depending on which carrier. And then, October 17th or something. Sorry, I can't remember right off the top of my head.
Something like that,
yeah. Mid-October. Folks, $900+. No Fortnite V-Bucks.
October
but other than that,
18th,
it's a really good phone. Again, check out the review. If you do like it, I don't think you're going to be disappointed, and I think that's key. So if you're an LG fan, this is a good one.
All right, Pixel 3, Pixel 3 XL, just a couple of things to talk about before Tuesday. So Tuesday, again, October 9th, Google will announce all their new stuff, all of which we might know about, unless there's Pixel Buds. We haven't seen anything about Pixel Buds. I think a few months ago, it might have been EvLeaks said Pixel Buds are coming. I actually don't know if it was EvLeaks, so sorry, Evan, if it's not you that said that. Somebody said there were some new Pixel Buds possibly coming. We have not seen anything leak about those. However, we do, again, expect the two phones, Google Home Hub, and possibly either a new Pixelbook or Pixel Slate, which would be hybrid sort of tablet version Chrome OS. This week, though, we got our first look at a new color. So instead of we thought we were getting white, black, and like an aqua or mint colored Pixel 3. Now we're thinking maybe it's white, black, and sand, which kind of looks pinkish, a really pale tan. Pale salmon, pink.
No, there's no pink.
You're not seeing pink either. You don't see pink in that.
No.
You either see pink or you don't. I've seen a whole bunch of people say that doesn't look pink to me, and then I think it does.
You need to get your eyes checked.
It looks pink to me. Maybe it's my monitor. Anyways,
I
sand.
see what you're saying, but nah.
Okay, so what do you describe that as? Like, what color is that if it's not pink?
Well, it's kind of like a khaki-ish.
It is?
I don't know. I guess it's a little pinkish. I don't know.
Now your eyes are playing tricks on you because I'm like, telling you to see. I'm telling you to see pink. Anyway, so this color of sand, we got our first look at it, and it's just kind of a lightish pinkish khaki. There we go. It's a light pink khaki or something.
It's really ugly.
Yeah, I don't really love it. I kind of wish they would give us the aqua or mint color. I was down for the green. So white, black, possibly sand, possibly an aqua greenish color. We're not really sure. So anyways, we got to look at that. And that'll come in both phones. Google announced through an email that pre-orders will open the minute the event stops, and they may open while the event's still going on. I feel like every time Google announces a bunch of stuff, their pages go live on the Google store and you can almost order the stuff before they get done talking about it. So Pixel 3 and 3 XL pre-orders will begin right away. So the minute the thing is done. And again, that's on October 9th. I can't remember what time it starts. I think it's like 11 a.m. Eastern. So 8 a.m. Pacific is when the event starts. It'll last hour and a half-ish, probably. Maybe 2 hours. So by noon Eastern, 12:31 Eastern, probably be able to order. Let's see. The Pixel Slate that I mentioned, we got a benchmark from it. And the big deal there is it basically just revealed some of the specs, a potential configuration, 16 gig RAM, an Intel Core i7 processor, Android Pie. I mean, it runs Chrome OS. So when I say it has Android Pie, that just means like the shell that it runs Google Play and apps in. So that's an upgrade. Right now, like the Pixelbook, for example, runs Android 7.1.1. It never got an upgrade to Oreo to run apps in. So Pi will be an upgrade for Chromebooks more than likely. So, I mean, that's a pretty high-powered Chrome OS device, but that's kind of the case with Google's Chromebook line. The Chromebook Pixels were really high-end, as is the Pixelbook, so don't expect it to be cheap this year. We think we might get a refreshed Chromecast, and the functionality really won't change. This is the Bluetooth Chromecast that we saw go through the FCC again a few months ago. It's already been showing up, I think, at Best Buys or Walmart's, and it just looks a little bit different. The big Chrome logo's gone, and now it's just a G logo, and it's not shiny. And then it has Bluetooth. That's like it. I don't think they're adding much more functionality than that. And then this week, Google also announced a new Google Home Mini in Aqua, which we've all been calling, I think, with this green they've been pushing out, we've been calling like mint, but it looks like Google wants to call it Aqua. Anyway.
I'm sick of these colors.
Same Google Home Mini, same $49, comes out at the end of October. So that probably means no new Google Home Mini, obviously, at the event. And I don't think we need one. It's still fine. What are you going to upgrade in there, right? It's like a mini little thing. And so we'll probably just get the new Home Hub. I'll pause for a second. Alex in the chat just dropped $5 donation.
Dono alert.
Happy Friday to you as well, Alex. Really appreciate the $5.
Cheers. Real quick, we had a question in the chat saying why we weren't talking about the Pixel Ultra. I just wanted to clear that up. We are under a strict NDA, non-disclose, to not speak about the Pixel Ultra and its incomingness. So there you go.
Did somebody really ask that?
Yes.
Oh,
I believe it was blue, red, yellow, green. Our Google.
Yeah. So. Y'all can't talk about the Pixel Ultra until it's unveiled. There's no Pixel Ultra.
What? No, there is. There is.
Oh man. What's funny is we've seen like this series of leaks, right? I think WinFuture had them first, where they were the official press renders. And then we've seen more people post the same ones, and all of them have said, "Yeah, this is all we got is the Pixel 3 and 3 XL. There isn't a third device." It's kind of funny to see these people all like go, "Oh yeah, there really isn't a third." No, there never was. There never was.
Never thought there was gonna be. Yeah, no. I mean, considering the leak started months ago, if there was any type of realness, truth to any of this nonsense. I feel like we would have discovered it by now. So
yeah, I mean, like the logic there doesn't really make sense, right? Everything Google is going to release is leaked more the times than I can even keep track of, but somehow they managed to keep this secret phone super secret. It just doesn't. The industry doesn't typically work that way, but some people are new to this. It's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. Welcome,
so
by the way, to this industry.
To the industry. It's a good one sometimes. So that's kind of a recap of the newest stuff on Pixel 3, 3 XL. That's kind of it. We've talked about this stuff. Oh, I guess as I mentioned earlier, today we saw another review pop up out of Hong Kong, and it looks like a more official retail unit with more official looking retail packaging than the Russian leaks that we saw. The box says Pixel 3 XL on the box and shows a picture of the new phone. And yes, the USB-C buds are in the box, all the proper cables and stuff. The packaging actually looks just like last year's 2XL packaging. It just, now you get buds in there and the phone has obviously been changed. And they liked the phone. I don't know what else to say. Like, we haven't touched it or reviewed it, so we don't really want to put too much into what they're saying. This is still a phone that hasn't been released that they're reviewing, so.
I'm gonna go with them though. I mean, they said it's a good phone. They like the wireless charging. They like all that stuff. Charging. I'm going with them. I'm gonna say phone of the year contender for sure, based on their review.
Based on this review.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to see that, we have right up there with some pictures at the site from this Hong Kong review, and yeah, it's the Pixel 3 XL, all right. I wonder if these people are also going to do a Pixel 3 review, because there's two phones. It'd be nice if they did that as well. And I want to see this sand color in the wild. We've seen black and white. We haven't seen any of the colored versions at all.
Yeah, would be nice.
I need to see that.
Real quick, Scott Washington with the $2 dono. Thank you very much. He says, Kellen's right. It's pink. Hex code is EADFDB. Well, my friend Scott Washington, I hate to tell you that you're wrong. Because if you look up the color description for EADFDB, it is described as light grayish orange.
Oh.
Yeah. So
really?
It actually is the same color, I think, as the paint in my walls. I know on this camera it probably looks kind of like white or something, but it's definitely this color. It's like the light grayish orange. No pink. There's no, I mean, they don't mention sand, of course, or anything like that, but I'm not seeing any mention. I mean, there's just a little bit of pink on the CMYK chart.
If you Google that hex, it actually brings up more of an orange palette than it does on the pinkish side. I still think it looks kind of pink. Except now I'm seeing plenty of orange now that I just Googled it. This is quite the conspiracy, actually.
I'm liking this. We should take this to the Twitter sphere.
I think we should, too.
Yeah.
Thank you, though, Scott, for the donation.
Yes, thank you, Scott. And then Alex followed it right up with another $2 dono. My phone's going to die having to...
from blowing this up so much. Yeah, that's second donation there from Alex. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you guys are killing it.
Killing it.
Berts are asking if I have pink walls. No, I don't have pink walls. I have EADFDB hex color walls. It's a light grayish orange, and it offsets all the white, with the doors and all that. It's a fine color. Thank you.
The Berts are then followed up with what color is the dress. I do feel like this is a what color is the dressing. Although that thing was so weird, the dress color thing. This is either orange or pink.
What was that? What's that? Or sorry, go ahead.
The dress was either blue or gray, right?
Yeah, blue or white, blue, black, white, gold.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, and then what was that other one? That sound one that was really freaking me out. I forget what the words were.
I forget that too, yeah. The sound one was weird, yes.
So I hear the lower sound or whatever, but my girlfriend can only hear the higher one. And thankfully, I was like, what does it mean if you can only hear the higher one? It means they're crazy. So I hold that against her.
Perfect.
Like, you're crazy.
Perfect. So. All right, so that's kind of a catch up on Pixel 3, 3 XL, Google stuff going on. We haven't learned anything new about the Home Hub, but there isn't much to learn there. It's going to cost probably $150. It'll come in chalk or charcoal and it has a screen, no camera. It should be just fine.
Oh, real quick, Laurel and Yanny.
That's right.
But the Yanny is just real quick. The first time I ever heard the clip, the first time I heard the sound go all the way through, I heard the Yanny, like the high pitch. And now every time I hear it, all I hear is Laurel.
Huh. I can't remember what I heard. I'll have to go back and listen to it again.
Yeah. Very weird. God, the internet's amazing.
The internet is. So anyway, that's a recap of Google's stuff. Again, that's Tuesday. I'll be there. It's at an event in New York, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. And it should be good. Should be fun. Should be fun to finally just put it all kind of to rest and just start diving into devices, because reviewing Google's stuff is always kind of fun. In other Google news, the Android October security patch dropped this week. So if you own a Pixel, Pixel XL, Pixel 2, Pixel 2 XL, you get the new Pi update with the October security patch. If you own a Nexus 6, Pixel C, or Nexus 5X, those are still just getting security patches. They're not on Pi, they're on Oreo, but you still get security. So that stuff dropped. If you own a Pixel or Pixel XL, Google supposedly fixed the fast charging behavior that they ruined in Pi. So that's cool. Let's see. They also this week, Google Maps announced that it now has music integration, which now that they've announced this, I kind of went, why hasn't this been there for longer? So what I mean by Google Maps getting music integration is if you're in navigation in Google Maps, you can pull up, well, you have a shortcut to Google Play Music, Spotify, and I believe they also added Apple Music. So you can have, if you've got it mounted and you're using navigation, you just have a little shortcut right there to control it. And it's rolling out now. Actually, I looked on my phone, and if you go into the navigation settings in Google Maps on your phone and scroll to the very bottom, there's a select media player option that you just have to enable. It's not that obvious. You kind of have to go hunt for it. So if you're interested in that, go into Google Maps settings or navigation settings, and you'll find it at the very bottom. And then the last thing Google announced this week was Project Stream. So this is one of those things that could be very interesting, but we don't really know much. So a couple months ago, well, I guess I should say over the last year or so, Google's been rumored to be producing some sort of game stream type thing, service, maybe even a console-y kind of box thing where you would stream games and they would probably license, AAA titles, whatever, probably a little bit like what NVIDIA does. So this week they actually out of nowhere announced Project Stream. Doesn't have a weird nickname like most of their stuff. So Project Stream, and they're letting a handful of people test it. And what Project Stream's trying to do is allow you to play AAA, super hardcore, heavy lifting type of games in a Chrome browser. And they're going to let people test the new Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which comes out, I think, on October 5th. They're going to let a group of people play that in Chrome. I guess that's kind of cool. I don't know how it's going to perform. They put out a YouTube video that shows what they're saying is gameplay capture from that game at 1080p, 60 frames per second. And sure, it looks fine, but it's not like you get a feel for playing it. It's just like a recap. It's like a video of somebody else playing it. But anyways, so Project Stream is, at least as far as we know now, could be Google's streaming service that's been rumored, but it's just playing really intense games in a Chrome browser, which I guess is kind of a big deal. I don't know.
Yeah, what's the latency like? I don't want to see a video. I want to experience it. And,
yeah. And that's what they said one of the focuses was near instant interaction between game and controller. So they must have figured out something that they think is worth at least testing or making public at this point. So.
Very nice.
Very fun. Yeah. So anyway, October 5th is when that can happen. If you're interested in that, you can go to just Google Project Stream, and there's this whole sign up thing. I don't even think the requirements for your computer are much because it just runs in Chrome. Your internet connection does have to be at least 25 down though. So
same thing with GeForce Now. So the server does all the heavy lifting with all the Titan GPUs and whatnot, ridiculous stuff that NVIDIA does in their cloud. But your actual home system doesn't need to be all too crazy. You just need a solid internet connection. we were at CES this past year, I think, and I was streaming Fortnite from the cloud on like a Chromebook, and it was running good. And I was like, okay, too bad I don't play Fortnite on PC where I would have been dominating noobs. But unfortunately, I've never even touched a keyboard in Fortnite, so I got screwed.
Yeah, that would be brutal. Yeah. All right, so Wear OS news this week. Wear OS 2.0 update, or I think it's actually 2.1 once it actually hits your watch, is rolling out. And that's Basically just the change to the home screen where you swipe to the right and that gets you into Google Assistant. Swipe to the left, it gets you to Google Fit. Swipe down, still the notification, or I shouldn't say notification shade, the settings shade, and swipe up notifications. And then you have smaller, more compact notifications. You can see more. It's rolling out to basically every Wear OS watch that was already up to Android Wear 2.0. So the watches that aren't getting it are like the original G Watch, that Gear Live thing that Samsung made, the Moto 360 first gen, and the ZenWatch, not the ZenWatch 3, the Sony Smartwatch 3, and there's like one other watch, but most watches are getting it. So I fired them up almost every damn Wear OS watch I own this week, and the Tag, I still have that original Tag Heuer connected. That got it. This TicWatch S got it from Mobvoi, and the TicWatch E also got it. I got it on... What else do I have? Oh, the Wear 24, that discontinued Verizon thing, was like the first watch to basically get it. The New Balance watch got the update. I think at this point, all we're waiting for is both Huawei watches don't have it. And those are probably the watches most people have. And then the Moto 360 second gen is probably the other one that most people have. And that also does not have it yet. So the three watches that probably everyone has don't, but like the Nixon smartwatch already got it. A bunch of Fossil watches have picked up the update. So anyways. I've been running it, and yeah, it's a nice change because you used to swipe on the screen and it would try to change watch faces, which was like the stupidest gesture anyone's ever put on an operating system. And that's thankfully gone now. But I mean, it doesn't really change the hardware performance. So in sort of related news, the Louis Vuitton Next smartwatch hit the FCC this week. It'll probably be like $3,000, and I'm sure it'll look great, and it'll probably run the Snapdragon 3100. We got a first look at Huawei's next watch called the Watch GT. I'm assuming it's a Wear OS watch. It has two pushers. It kind of looks a lot like this guy, the Huawei Watch 2 Classic with the two pushers on the side. It kind of looks a lot like this, but with a silver and black case. It'll probably run the 3100, Snapdragon 3100. 14-day battery life, NFC, GPS, heart rate monitor. It'll have everything. It's probably the watch you're going to want to get instead of whatever LG just announced, but I think that's it for watch news. When was the last time you wore a smartwatch? Just curious.
It would have been at Samsung's press event for the Galaxy Note 9 when they had the Galaxy Watch there. And I just put it on for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's a nice looking watch, but
not a bad looking watch. They never sent one. They don't seem to care to send one, so it's whatever. Other than that, oh gosh, it's been a while, dude. I'll be honest.
I've gone back into this smartwatch thing. I don't know why. I don't really use them that much. I think partly because I knew this update was coming. Yeah. I thought, hey, let's get back in and see what this stuff is like. So that's been a little bit fun. I've been jumping. Well, except I've been wearing the Huawei Watch 2 Classic, which I actually do really like as a smartwatch, both for looks and performance-wise, but it won't get this stupid update. So I haven't been wearing it. So I've been wearing this all white TicWatch thing, which is totally a nice watch. But yeah. Anyway. All right. Moving out of there. We're almost to trivia time. OnePlus 16 news. So OnePlus still, for whatever reason, won't acknowledge that they need to announce this phone at some point, or a date, I should say. I still think it's October 17th because that's the date they've been putting on teasers and stuff. But this week they, well, a couple of things. We saw official press renders leak for it, showing it in the mirror black and also the midnight black, which is the matte color. Has a little teardrop notch, which we're expecting. Has a minimal chin down there on the bottom, just like your V40 does. No fingerprint reader on the back because we know it's in the display. And OnePlus kind of won't shut up about the in-display fingerprint reader. And look, the in-display fingerprint reader I'm super excited about too, but I think they've put out 3 teasers on Twitter and a whole post on their forums and somewhere else and tipped CNET off to it all about this in-display fingerprint reader, which again is cool, but are you going to sell a phone based on the idea that it has an in-display fingerprint reader? I'm not sure I fully understand the like overwhelming push to talk about this technology. And it better be great because they're going to try to sell people on an in-display fingerprint reader rather than the camera and all of that stuff. Let's see. They did confirm or acknowledge that no wireless charging again, which again, I still don't really care about wireless charging that much, but I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people are going to continue to complain because this has a glass back, and most of the time people go glass back so they can put wireless charging. So they confirmed no wireless charging, and they said because wireless charging is not fast enough and it creates too much heat, and they don't like that. So until it can catch up to their dash charging in terms of speed and without the heat, they don't really want to do it, and that's probably never going to happen. So I don't know if they'll ever put that in. They also confirmed no official IP rating on this phone, just like the OnePlus 6. They did say that it'll be more water resistant than the 6, but they didn't want to go through the actual IP rating program because they said it would probably add like $30 cost to the phone, and they don't want to pass that along. So there's no official rating, so we don't know how water resistant is, just like the 6, but they said it'll be more, but it doesn't have an official rating.
Wait.
Come on, OnePlus. My problem with OnePlus is they do all this stuff, right? They tweak things and remove things and try to make up sort of excuses, or at least justify this versus that. And yet their prices just kind of keep going up. I mean, they took out a headphone jack, and they don't want to pay for an IP rating. And what was the other thing I just said? No wireless charging. But because we got an in-display fingerprint reader and a teardrop, the price is going up on this phone. You took away features and just moved one from the back to the front, and you're going to charge us more for that. So it kind of, some of the moves they make bug me a little bit. And and their logo still says never settle and all that stuff. And it's like, you should probably change that, because we kind of do settle, and there's nothing wrong with having a set a little bit. You're charging $400 less than Samsung is for their phones, but like, let's move out of the whole never settle thing.
It's deep.
It is very deep. Nokia announced a phone. I wasn't going to acknowledge this because, to be honest, I don't care that much, but the chat does, and they said, "Are you guys going to talk about the Nokia 7.1?" And damn it, Tim, we're going to talk about it right now.
All right.
Actually, I don't know anything about it. Do you want to talk
I want to talk about it? Yeah, sure. HMD Global, the company behind your beloved Nokia brand, announced a 7.1 this week. Pricing and availability. Yes, it is coming to America. Make America Nokia again. Maca. It's got a 5.8-inch Full HD Plus display with a top cutout, so Nokia's getting in on that notch game. 64 gigs of storage, 4 gigs of RAM, a Snapdragon 636 processor, dual rear-facing Zeiss optic cameras, a 3060 mAh battery, so not much smaller than the LG V40 ThinQ, and it runs the Android One OS. So Oreo at launch, should be getting Pie relatively quickly because it is Android One, which is sort of like that minimal, bare bones kind of Android OS. What else can I talk about?
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's a mid-range phone, but as Nokia or HMD says, it's got those premium specs. So
it's got a notch.
Yeah,
it actually looks pretty sharp.
Alex in the chat is saying it's Nokia, not Nokia. No, I don't care. Nokia. How do you pronounce it? I've always said Nokia.
I say Nokia. I know a lot of people say Nokia, and I've heard some other pronunciations. To me, it's Nokia.
It's Nokia.
Like, yeah, Nokia. Nokia.
Like the Kia cars.
Nokia.
Nokia. Whatever. Y'all acting like it's a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Oh, Corbin says it's Nokia. I just say Nokia. I probably.
It's like Adidas, not Adidas. Oh, Alex, you're lucky I like you. I don't know what that means. Adidas.
See, and Scott says it's Nokia, which I've heard a lot of people say, and I'm never buying into the Nokia.
Nokia.
Oh, it has the Finnish folk. That's funny. All right, cool.
Yeah, so
that's all I got for topics, since there's something else. Oh.
Well, I was just going to say the big deal is that it is going to be in the US. So, yeah.
$350, not a bad price. Android One, they've been updating their phones pretty quickly. This Nokia company and HMD I should say. Android Pie is coming soon to a bunch of their other devices too. So it is actually a decent option at $350. It's going to Amazon, Best Buy, and B&H. Unlocked GSM, although somebody in the chat did just mention something about CDMA. I thought it was just a GSM only phone, but we can look into that. But it could be a good option. After we review the 8,000 flagship phones in the next month, we'll probably take a look at it if you guys are interested in that.
I'm stoked.
Of course you are. All right. I think that's it for topics. Trivia time?
I think it's trivia time.
I think it's trivia
ready.
time too. Trivia.
Get down
time.
your. I'm trying to boot up my light show.
All right, I'll trivia dance while you get the lights on.
Yeah.
They
did a.
I can't do the horn noise.
Oh, they did a recent update for the app on my Nano Leaf, and I guess I'm not a huge fan.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's no big deal. I have to.
It's okay. You're gonna replace it with the Nano Leaf tiles in like a month anyway.
Wow. Yeah. Those tiles are looking good.
Yeah, they are. All right, so DL trivia. It's trivia time. For those new around here, we do DL trivia at the end of every show. Give prizes to 5 different people. So we ask 5 questions, reward a new winner for each question. You can only win once. All we do is ask a question, put it up on the screen. You hit the chat and answer as quickly as you can. If you're the first person, you win. So first person with correct answer, I should say, you win. Tim and I will decide who that is based on who we see answer first on our screen. Pretty straightforward. Then once we're all done with trivia, if you're one of those winners, you just contact us and we'll get your prizes out to you. That's pretty much it, I think. Anything else I need to say there? Oh, we're giving away $10 of Google Play credit to all 5 winners this week. It's pretty simple. Oh, we often recommend you drop down to 144p resolution. You can go audio only if you need to, because Tim does read out the questions. But whatever you need to do to lower that latency, so you can be fast with the keys. Fast with the keys.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen Eric Ortiz in the chat, so
no, he dropped out early. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. I was gonna say you guys have a chance.
He stopped by just to tell everyone that he wasn't going to be around, so that they had a chance to win. Yeah.
What a nice guy.
Little subtle brag as also being just a general nice guy. So, yeah, no Eric, you guys.
Nice. All right. I talk to that guy every week just because he's always winning.
Because he wins every single week. Yep.
All right, let's start it off. Let's go ahead and get the show on the road with question number 1, please.
All right, question number 1 going up now.
What is the battery size for LG's Watch W7? Again, what is the battery size for LG's Watch 7? And please have it in milliamp hour.
Ooh.
Yep. I'm seeing
Dan.
Dan Perkins with the correct answer of 240.
240
yep,
milliamp
and
hour.
We are accepting just 240. You don't have to put milliamp hour battery. Just I wanted to make sure you guys put that, and not like the the voltage or wattage or whatever the hell they do.
Dan Perkins with the win.
Congratulations, Dan. Let me get your name down. All right.
Congrats, Dan.
Nice. All right, question 1 is out of the way. Let's go ahead and
a quick one.
Question number 2, please.
Question number 2 going up now.
What was the first sand-colored Google device? Again, what was the first sand-colored Google device?
We didn't actually mention this.
No, Evan Brown coming in with the quickness. Yep,
we did write it up, yeah.
Yes, we did. Correct answer is, of course, the Nexus 9.
Nexus 9 was the first sand-colored device. I have a completely pointless write-up on it at the site if you're interested in the history of the sand Nexus 9. Yep, Evan with the win there.
Congratulations, Evan. Very nice. Whoa,
and that thing is definitely not pink. It is a sand, tan, khaki color.
Yes. All right. I'm ready for question number 3 if you're ready.
Question number 3 going up. Question number 3 going up now.
What game is Google letting players test for Project Stream? Again, what game is Google letting players test for Project Stream?
Mm-hmm.
There's a few ways you can answer this that I will allow.
Birds are.
I'm seeing Jackson Neitert with the correct answer of Assassin's Creed.
Yep, got that too.
Fantastic.
Jackson with the win. Congrats, Jackson. I mean, the Odyssey is the name of the game, but Assassin's Creed, totally acceptable.
Assassin's Creed, totally acceptable.
Yeah.
Ever since last week, we're going to be a bit more lenient, I'm thinking, or maybe a bit more strict. I don't know. It's a little bit of both.
It's hard to say which way we're going there.
Yeah. This one's going to be a bit more difficult, and we're going to be extremely strict.
This one, strict, precise answers on question 4.
Yes. Okay, I'm ready for question number 4.
Ready?
Please.
Question number 4 going up now.
What 3 camera types are found on the back of the LG V40? Again, what 3 camera types are found on the back of the LG V40? So there's 3 cameras. What type of cameras are they? That makes sense. Oh yes, Chris Peterson with the correct answer of the wide, telephoto, and normal, aka standard. We will accept either normal or standard.
Perfect.
So, yes. Oh, and right in the middle of his correct answer here, real quick, let me get that name one more time. Oh, what was it? Chris Peterson.
It was Chris. And Lars dropped another 20
kroner?
Is it kroner? Yes. Yeah, kroner. 20 kroner, Lars, and he just shouted Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. I love Pac-Man.
Love it too. Appreciate that, Lars.
Oh God, make it stop. Please.
Make it stop.
Wow.
Awesome.
That was intense.
All right. Are we ready for the final question?
No, I want this just to keep going forever.
Just do like 15 questions.
Yeah, at the end of the year, so we'll maybe for Christmas or the end of the year, we'll just have like a special 10-question show. We'll get some sweet prizes. We'll do something. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, we'll do a special show for sure.
Yeah, end of the year. Maybe we'll have a guest. Ooh. Maybe we could get Ron in here.
Ron just to read off questions. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Just guest people just to drop in and go, here's the question. All right, cool.
Yeah,
we're ready for this last one?
Okay, yes, I'm ready. Question number 5, please.
Question number 5, going up now.
Oh, toughie. What are the 4 initial Verizon 5G home cities? Again, what are the 4 initial Verizon 5G home cities?
We did not talk about this at all on the show, but we thought we'd make you guys type a little bit.
I know, it's not easy.
You have to name all 4 of them.
I know. Feel free to
look at everyone typing.
We'll talk about stuff. Yeah, this could take a while.
Oh yeah, people are just getting crushed.
Matt. Hector, thank you. We will get to that. I'm still not quite seeing the correct answer.
Wait. There we go. Tom. I think Tom's got it.
Tom literally right before George got it in.
Houston, Indy, LA, Sacramento. Tom got that right.
Tom Luley. George. I feel like this has happened to you before. But yes, Tom got it in right before George. Correct answer, Houston, Indy, LA, Sacramento. Wow. Thank you, guys. Tom Luley, I've got you down. Oh, here's what's going to happen. Oh, first of all, we've got donos coming in.
Hector just dropped 2.
Oh, wow.
It was Hector twice.
Hector twice. Oh, yeah. Hector came in with the $1.99 and then followed it right up with $9.99. It's incredible. Thank you guys so much.
Hector says, keep up the great work, great guys. Messed up my previous donation. No wonder it said $1.99 and then you wrote 10. Yeah. I was like, Hector, that's crazy. That's like $12. You're wild, man.
Wow. Nice. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate that, Hector. That's a huge donation. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. Let's just follow it up with Brian with the 10 bomb.
Brian just dropped a 10 bomb. Brian in the chat just dropped $10. You guys are crazy. We really appreciate that support. Again, like I said last week, this is one of the one of our favorite things we get to do every week is like do the live show with all of you guys. It's actually really fun because it's a lot of the same people in the chat. And Alex just dropped like another $2 donation. This is like his 3rd. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Brian again. Thank you, Hector again.
I'm gonna work on something real special for you guys for the Christmas show. It's gonna be good.
Another question. Corbin just drops $2 as well. Here's my internet. Oh, here's for my internet being slow.
Nice.
Appreciate that, Corbin.
I wish I need to find the sad trombone. Oh,
Scott says we're crowdfunding next week's trivia. In a way, it kind of works that way.
J-Mill, Damien.
J-Mill with another. That's like J-Mill's third, I think, of the show. $1.99 says just cuz. And then Damien just dropped $5. Says keep it going.
Let's keep it going.
Oh my God, you guys.
What else do we want to talk about?
I don't know. I do feel like we should just start giving something else away or something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy.
Well, if you guys have any topics, we'd love to. I mean, you know. The closest thing I can find to the failed trumpets. Oh God, that's right. It has ads. Never mind. I'm over the soundboard app.
The soundboard app with ads, yeah. Always at the end of the show, by the time you've gone through it, it's like, okay, buddy, you've played enough free tunes. Here's an ad. And then it just ruins everything.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Greedy app developers.
Bertzer just dropped $5. Says here is to the Nokia coverage. Shout out Sony also, Bertzer. I wish we could talk more about Sony. I think there were some Sony leaks this week, actually, like XA3s or something. I have no idea. Bertzer, one of these days we'll mention Sony again. Sony should make a new watch, actually. They're one of those companies I could see making a decent Android Wear OS watch. Their previous ones weren't actually that bad at all, and they would probably do a pretty decent job.
What was I? Oh yeah, so Nokia. I did speak to Nokia. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I did talk to them. We do have a unit of 7.1 unit on the way. It launches later this month, so I think it's going to come mid-month, which is bad timing because we're going to be right in the middle of Pixel stuff. So expect Nokia 7.1 stuff, maybe a quick review to happen later this month down the road around when it launches. So.
Scott watching it with $2 in the chat. Sorry. Scott watching with $2 in the chat says, look for the Price is Right horn. That's it. Do you have a Price is Right horn?
I have to Google it.
Well, that's exciting that we have a Nokia 7.1 coming.
Oh yeah, so exciting.
Again, it comes later, and we got Pixels and Razer phones and stuff on the way too. So it might come later down the road, but we'll probably get there eventually.
And of course, October 10th, Razer phone event, and we'll be there for that. And so we'll get a unit afterwards, and we're just it's gonna be good.
You know, I just saw on the Android subreddit, someone posted up that LG's G7 One, their Android One device, showed up on LG Canada's site, which could mean it's coming soon. I don't know that phone's coming anywhere near the US, but I was thinking that an LG G7 running stock Android, running Android One, it's still a phone from this year. That might be a phone to consider, like as a sleeper phone, assuming it's not stupid expensive, because stock Android and LG phones is just something we've been dreaming of for a long time.
I totally forgot to input the email. Trivia winners. We just had the Dono train going off.
That's right, we did.
Feel free to email me, folks. I am putting my email in the chat right now. Mizzou Mike. $2 Dono. I got this one. How about... That's the Wheel of Fortune sound, apparently, even though that's not the Wheel of Fortune sound that I know.
Trivia winners, though, email Tim so we can get you your Google Play credit. But Mizzou Mike says, I just need a tax receipt for end of year.
Keep it coming, baby. We'll help you out with that.
J Mill, another $1.99. One more for the road. Good show as always. Thanks, J Mill, for stopping by.
Thank you,
Good to see you again. Way too many donations from you, my man. Have a great weekend, dude. Yeah. I feel like we should stop so people don't keep giving us all the money.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. That's
what a wild end of the show. You guys are amazing. Yeah, we do love doing this show. We've actually talked about taking Fridays off and only doing a show. If we could somehow do that, that would be amazing. But I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon, but it would be wild. Just do a big, long, 4-hour DL show and hang out with you guys on Fridays.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that 4 hours. I mean, maybe 2 hours.
That's true.
But the day would just consist of us prepping for show, doing show, and then sort of just relaxing and, taking Friday, just chilling. Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much. Please enter if you won the trivia. Please email me, tim@droid-life.com. We will get your prizes out to you.
Jackson, Chris, and Tom. Email Tim.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you to Mizzou Mike, J-Mill, Alex, Scott, Bertzer, Damien, Corbin, Brian, Hector, Hector again. I mean, just thank you to everyone who donated. That's very generous.
Lars, Nerbo, PC747. So many. What a
I'm glad
wild
you got
show.
the whole list. I don't
What a
have
wild
access
show.
to the whole list.
Oh, I have the whole list. Yeah, I have the whole list of everyone. All right, appreciate that, guys. All right, well, so next week, big week. Tuesday, I'm in New York for Pixel. Can we talk about what you're doing on Wednesday? We can, right? That's like official news, right? Wednesday, Tim is in LA to hang out with Razer. They're announcing a phone. So yeah, Tuesday I'm in New York. Wednesday, Tim's in LA. We'll still have plenty of coverage around the site. There's a ton of stuff. It's gonna be a really wild week. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the support. Have a safe weekend. Droid Life.
Peace.